Hello, 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 and welcome back to another segment of Rate the Leadership. I am your host, Jaimaze, and I am excited to be here with you today and to talk about something that is just crazy happening in the United States. What is that? Donald Trump's first 100 hours. Oh my God, has it been mind blowing? But before we get into this, because there's a lot of people happy and baby, there's a lot of people mad. But before we get into this, I want to go over the characteristics again of a good leader. And you tell me if this new administration and our new president, who was our former president and came back, like boom, came back into office as our commander in chief, let me know if he possesses these qualifications of a good leader. Let's start off with empathy, communication, vision. I think he has that. I think he had 4 years to think about where he wants to take this country. Okay. Confidence. Oh my goodness. If President Trump don't have confidence, we could learn something from him about confidence. Okay. Delegation. Definitely has that. Resilience. Oh my goodness. The man got shot, stood up and said, fight, fight, fight. They went and raided the man's house. They prosecuted the man. It's like, oh my goodness, everybody was against him and he stayed resilient. Why? Because I truly believe he loves this country and he saw the direction this country was headed, and it was not a righteous direction. And if you want to know the direction that the country was headed, check out my previous video titled, Did We Dodge a Bullet? With Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. All right, decision making. Yes, I believe he possesses this trait. Integrity, innovation, courage, creativity, self-awareness, transparency. We've got the most transparent president in history. He tells you what's on his mind, whether you like it or not, and I love it. He's the funniest man on the planet right now. Okay, empowerment, influence. Well, we know he has influence. Passion, and we know he has passion. Humility. Yes, President Trump has humility. Ask all the people that he housed in his hotels. Ask all the people that he gave money to. Ask all the inmates that he pardoned for wrongful convictions. Ask everybody that he just pardoned for January 6th. Ask Beverly Johnson, who he just pardoned, who she was just praying and protesting in front of an abortion clinic. I don't know if we can say that. I don't know if we can say it, but I just said it. Thank God President Trump is in office so he could free the speech. All right. Collaboration, emotional intelligence. Now that right there, he's worked on, because honestly, Trump would tell you everything was on his mind. He don't care who you were or what it was about. So I believe he has grown in that characteristic. Okay. Good communicator, of course. Motivator, yes, he is. He has positivity because he knows and he tells us that the future looks bright. And accountability, that is one man that will take accountability. And I love it. So let's get into this. Trump's first 100 hours. Baby, we have never seen anything like this in the United States since I've been alive. My mother's 70 years old and she hasn't seen anything like this either. This is truly, truly a different time for us, and we need it. This is a shaking up around America and the world. And honey, I'm here for it. Rate the leadership. Let's get into this. I'm going to bring in one of my favorite podcasters, The Redacted Show. I love them. I get so much information from them, and they bring the heat every time. Let's get into it.
Behind the scenes right now is going to upend the global world order, and the BRICS nations are on notice that a strong American leader is back in charge instead of the weak-ass clowns that have been running things in Washington, D.C.
The weak bleep clowns. And take a look, guys. Do these two represent you and I's values? They might represent yours, but honey, they don't represent mine at all. This was not what I was raised on. I was raised on, right up above me, the 10 Commandments. I was raised on biblical principles. My grandparents, my grandparents, my parents raised me on biblical principles, which the full United States was raised on biblical principles. So when I ask you, does this right here align with our principles and our beliefs? Not mine. Again, this was the previous administration. This is where we was completely headed. Let's rate the leadership. Let's keep going.
So many pieces of the puzzle to put together, like Putin, Ukraine, China, Saudi Arabia, gold prices hitting an all-time high over the last 24 hours, Trump sending troops to the U.S. southern border, illegal immigrants running scared. So all of those things, I'm going to bring you up to speed on all of this here in a moment. So buckle up. This is so damn important. But first, Trump just posted this on social media. The most historic 100 hours in American history, he writes. The golden age of America begins right now. And then he posted this video along with it.
America will reclaim its rightful place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth. I am with you. I will fight for you. And I will win for you.
He's actually correct. Never before in American
place as the greatest, most powerful, most respected nation on earth. I am with you. I will fight for you, and I will win for you.
He's actually.
Now I want you all to compare this to the previous president we just had, the one, Sleepy Joe. And I want you to think about the different administrations and the different types of leaders. Are we winning right now? Because I feel like we're winning right now. Rate the leadership. Let's go.
Actually correct. Never before in American history has a president implemented the sheer number of executive actions that he has within just the first 100 hours. No president has ever done this. Thanks to executive orders, all of our border agents making record numbers of apprehensions, massive ICE raids, sweeping up illegal immigrants all over the United States right now. These are criminals who've committed murder, and sanctuary cities let them run free. Just look at the new video out of Mexico showing them.
Now, who are the Democratic mayors and governors who is fighting against this? I want to rate their leadership too. Would you rather have criminals in our country hurting our children and our women and robbing and stealing and murdering? What is wrong with these people? They are fighting hard to keep the criminals in the country who are here illegally. Is that good leadership to you? Is that righteous leadership to you? Let me know in the comments how you feel. Let's go.
Pouring across the Mexican border, going in the opposite direction. And a lot of these immigrants are yelling, F Trump.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
This dude, I'm not going. Listen, yes, you are. Yes, you are. And as a Black woman, it's not like I'm hating on my own people. No, you've got to know what these people, it don't matter if you black, white, purple, green, yellow, if you're out here committing crimes and hurting children, you don't need to be here. Am I wrong? Back in the Bible days, honey, Jesus said stone him. Trump is better than, he's nicer than Jesus. He ain't better than Jesus. Let me correct that. Jesus is the creator and the lawgiver. But he's nicer than Jesus. He's nicer.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
But it's much bigger than a Haitian criminal yelling F Trump. Trump has made massive geopolitical moves over the past 100 hours. They're getting us closer to ending the CIA-backed proxy war in Ukraine. Putin says he's ready to talk peace with Trump right now. That's because Trump's pressure on Saudi Arabia to ramp up oil production and invest heavily in the United States is a game changer.
And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down. If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately.
With high oil prices,
Leadership.
Putin's war machine keeps running, funding it with Russia's own oil. But by pushing those prices down, Saudi Arabia is putting the squeeze on Russia, cutting off a major lifeline of war funding. This isn't just about oil. It's about strong American leadership reshaping right now the global stage. Even Putin admitted Friday that this war might have been avoided totally under stronger U.S. leadership.
If he had been the president, if the victory wasn't stolen from him in 2020, maybe the Ukrainian crisis that arose in 2022 would have never appeared.
Now, Trump's bold actions are shaking things up, not just for Russia, but for the whole BRICS alliance. Take China, for example. They're feeling the heat from all sides. On the one hand, Trump's laying down the law. Stop sending fentanyl across our borders, or you're going to face a 10% tax.
Stop sending fentanyl. Now, what Democrat, because they are, is fighting against this? What is wrong with the Democrats and the rhinos, the Republicans in name only? You guys want the drugs? You want the fentanyl? Ridiculous.
Tariff.
We're talking about a tariff of 10% on China based on the fact that they're sending fentanyl to Mexico and Canada.
And on the other hand, Trump is pushing China to pressure Russia to end the war in Ukraine. So it's putting China and Russia in a very unique and tight spot. And that's shaking things up in the BRICS alliance. Take India, for example. All of this is tied together. Now let's talk more about Saudi Arabia. Trump's pressure has led to a crucial bargain right now. Increase oil production, lower costs, and in return, guess what? We'll welcome massive Saudi investments into the United States infrastructure, which will create American jobs. That's exactly what's happening. The Crown Prince just announced a massive $600 billion U.S. investment announcement. That didn't happen under Biden. This move not only boosts the U.S.
Rate the leadership.
economy, but also applies immense economic pressure on Russia. Now, make no mistake about it. Yes, Russia will end this war on its own terms, which includes having Zelensky removed from office, and Trump appears ready to make that happen. Ukrainian President Zelensky is clearly feeling the pressure. In a desperate move this week, he insulted Trump, saying Trump is being manipulated by Putin, and he even suggested putting U.S. forces on the front lines in Ukraine to keep the war going. Right.
So you want our sons and daughters to come out there and fight your war? Zelensky, why don't you get your behind out there on the front line and fight it? Why don't you do that? But you want to send our sons and daughters out there on the front line to fight your proxy war. We all know what's going on in Ukraine. The truth is out, brother. The truth is out. Rate the leadership.
You want them at the front line? Yes, with our people, of course. Yes, because this means security.
This is not our war, Zelensky. Why would we send our sons and daughters and you won't even get your behind out there and fight on the front line? My father, my brother, and my husband are veterans. I would never send, and they were fighting for our country. Okay, they went to the military for our country, for the United States of America, not a foreign country who has been deemed the most corrupt country in the world. Make this make sense.
And that's it. So, but it can't be. It can't be without the United States.
So the United States is going to lose American soldiers on the front lines of your war? Sorry. So how did Trump respond? Trump just cut off all weapons and all money to Ukraine.
Boom! Rate the leadership.
A clear middle finger to Ukrainian cocaine-snorting dictator Zelensky.
And
Zelensky, I will say this, he wants to settle now. He's had enough. He shouldn't have allowed this to happen either. No. You know, if he's no angel, he shouldn't have allowed this war to happen.
And who did this? It was.
Have you all listened to the interviews of the Russian soldiers talking about what they found in Ukraine with the children? I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. It is disgusting and it is sinful and it is satanic what is going on. If you really do the research and listen to Putin on why he is doing what he is doing. Now, listen, I don't know. This is only what I've heard through documentaries on the internet and from the soldiers themselves in interviews. But I tell you what, we do not want to send our sons and daughters to go over there fighting a war for somebody who is corrupt. Make it make sense.
The new Secretary of State. Color me surprised. His name is Marco Rubio. Now, I've been highly critical of Rubio over the years, calling
I didn't trust him either, y'all. And I kind of still don't trust him. But you know what? God is in control of this whole thing, so we just going to let it ride.
him a warmonger, trying to push us into war against Iran and China. But he's clearly carrying out Trump's message here, signaling a stark shift in U.S. foreign policy. Rubio's stance is clear. No more free passes. This war is going to end. And he's backing Trump's tough approach, ensuring that America's interests come first and allies step up or step aside. Now, I was worried that Rubio was going to undermine Trump, but so far, so good. Now let's talk about the homeland. Trump is repositioning U.S. forces to secure America's own borders. Over the past 24 hours, we've seen thousands of U.S. Marines arriving at the U.S. southern border to secure the homeland. Now, at the very same time, ICE raids are intensifying, targeting illegal immigrants, cracking down on sanctuary cities. This is a strategic shift happening right now. And Trump is repositioning troops out of Europe and focusing on domestic security. This is, again, a big middle finger to Europe, which Trump says they have been treating America very, very badly.
The European Union is very, very bad to us. They treat us very, very badly. They don't take our cars. They don't take our cars at all. They don't take our farm products, essentially. They're going to be in for tariffs.
Imagine that, bringing many of the 20,000 U.S. troops currently in Europe back home to secure the homeland. That sends a strong message to Europe that we're done being taken advantage of. Go defend yourself. So all of this ties into Trump's economic strategy as well. He announced this week that he wants to lower interest rates.
The interest rates will come down.
You said that you would demand that the interest rates come down.
Well, I would put in a strong statement.
Do you expect the Fed to listen to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get him, Trump.
Includes significant measures to lower borrowing costs for Americans, making it easier for businesses and families to thrive. He opened up the floodgates.
What's wrong with that? Why are people fighting against this? Make it make sense.
For drilling in the United States. So the drilling move and the interest rate move are exactly why we've seen gold prices.
You guys better invest in oil. Better invest. Go to the S&P, find the ETFs for oil. Invest. Charles Schwab, somebody invest. Don't miss out on this goodness. You've got 4 years to get wealthy. Let's go.
Surging over the past 24 hours, hitting all-time highs. Drilling companies about to help enrich the United States. And if that's not enough, in another bold move, Trump has also issued executive orders to cut DEI programs in federal agencies. This includes actions like what's happening at Denver's airport, where TSA agents have been seen removing all DEI materials from checkpoints and cheerful.
Now, listen, I want to talk about this because I've seen an uproar in my Black community about, oh my God, they're getting rid of this and that, and they're trying to take down Black people. No, they are not. What they are doing is saying, you get out here and you work hard just like everybody else. Stop looking for handouts. I can attest to this because before DEI came along, I was successful. How did I become successful? I learned from my father who was successful, and my father was a blind man and he didn't need DEI. There's a book that I read called Up From Slavery from Booker T. Washington. There was no DEI around when Booker T. Washington was a slave. And he became a great man. And he built Tuskegee. And he showed people how to build bricks and build houses and build wagons. He taught people education. People became millionaires under Booker T. Washington's leadership. This was a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old boy who had just come out of slavery. Before the civil rights, blacks did good. We had to bootstrap it. We didn't need anything given to us. So why do we keep looking for the handouts? My husband and I, all of my friends, we've become successful before DEI. All you need is Christ and skill and resilience. That's all you need. And hard work. There's a Bible I want to read to everybody. And this, I think it's Timothy, but it's in 1 Thessalonians, okay? It's in 1 Thessalonians. Let me get it because my Bible app, it's doing too much. But with the commercials. But this is 1 Thessalonians 4, 10 through 12. And I'm going to read this to you all. And I want you, because this is back in the Bible day. This right here is the disciples. I think it's Timothy. I've got to go back, but he's telling the disciples on how to be successful. I'm going to read this. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 10. And indeed, ye do it toward all brethren, which are in all, I'm going to start at 9. I'm going to just start at 10. And indeed, you do it toward all brethren, which are all in Macedonia. But we beseech you, brethren, that you increase more and more, and that you study to be quiet. Okay, don't tell everybody your business. Don't be in everybody's business. And do your own business. And to work with your own hands. That's owning your own business. Okay? As we commanded you, that ye may walk honestly toward them that are without, helping, giving, and that ye may have lack of nothing. Lack of nothing. DEI was not in the Bible days. Stop looking for handouts. Stop looking for a leg up. It is here. It is 2025. There is a library on every corner. You can open your own business. I don't care if you start cleaning toilets. You do not need a handout. That has been the problem with our nation. Read the book Up From Slavery. We've always depended on handouts. And when that happens, the government takes over and you are at submission because you cannot make it without them. But God did not equip us to be dependent. We can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. I'll stop preaching now. Let's get into it.
Putting them through a shredding machine, and they're cheering along in the process. If I was there at the airport, I would have applauded them. Then there's Trump's visits within 100 hours to North Carolina, an area totally ignored by President Biden. And then in California, he toured the wildfire devastation, made Gavin Newsom stand awkwardly on the tarmac for 10 minutes. I love that.
We're going to rate Gavin too, because Gavin is off the chain, honey. He is one slick politician, let me tell you, with the hair gel. But he knows what he's doing. But is Gavin leading in righteous leadership? We're going to rate his leadership too. And Karen Bass, because California is on fire. I think it's supernatural also.
And then he told Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass right to her face to streamline regulations.
Fast as we can, but we want you to be safe. We want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't cost a lot.
Yes, and they can.
You should let them do it because...
Yeah, notice Gavin Newsom didn't go to that press conference. He knew what was coming. These 100 hours have been absolutely transformative for the United States. Regardless of how you feel about Trump, it doesn't matter. This is bold leadership focused on putting America first on the international stage. This is not about making Europe stronger or China stronger or Ukraine stronger. This is about making America stronger. And it's
This is about making America stronger. And this means a lot to me, you all, because I live here. My family lives here. My children lives here. This is not about me. This is about the next generation. The country was headed down a terrible path in unrighteous leadership, and we all know it. So I want you guys to rate the leadership of President Trump in his first 100 hours. Promises made, promises kept, honey. This is our new leader. This is our new commander-in-chief, and I am here for it. Can't wait to see you guys on the next segment. Join me. Please hit the like button and share this video. Till next time, take care and God bless and love thy neighbor.